Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. I'm playing a series of videos I do for a little while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I could definitely use a nice little kick from this one. So hopefully it's good. But we'll get to that in a moment. Folks, it is a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Well, you can kind of see from there, but boom, it's my head PE shirt. Well, with the aliens and the van and the whole thing. If you are unfamiliar with the band Head PE, first of all, you haven't been watching enough of my videos, because I think this is my third Head PE shirt? Something like that. It's either third or fourth. I've got quite a few of them. Head PE, they are a band. They've been around since, I think maybe even as far back as like what could be considered the early 90s, more like mid 90s. They came up and sort of, by the lead singer, who's the only original member left, by his admission, they came up in sort of like what was called the hardcore scene at that time, and then eventually as what would eventually become known as the nu metal scene with bands like Korn, I'm trying to, like Coal Chamber and stuff, some of the early progenitors. They were sort of like grandfathered into the nu metal genre. And I know the singer, he's talked about it, about how it was kind of weird, because, like, when you're just doing music, you're not necessarily thinking about the scene that you're part of, you're just doing what you're doing. And then the scene kind of came and, like, just sort of enveloped what he was doing. But they've been extremely successful for a very long time. Like I said, it's only one original member left at this point. But I've seen these guys at least four or five times now. I'd have to go back and check, but I got to see them perform pretty recently. They were on tour with a band called Nonpoint. I actually got some videos of their performances. They're on this channel just in case you're interested. I like Head P. Anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why do I need a kick? Boom! Because it's Twix. It's Twix iced coffee. Specifically, it's by Victor Allen's. So, I have tried things like this a number of times. And I think I did like a Snickers one at one point, and, they've like had Hostess ones and all kinds of stuff. And so, yeah, when I saw this one, I think I got it at Walmart, and I was like, yeah, okay. So, I definitely could use a kick, because I woke up like maybe half an hour ago, I showered up and everything, and it was like, so. Damn it. That's on me. Don't blame Victor Allen. He didn't do it. That's alright. That's the benefit of wearing lots of black clothes. That and you don't look quite as fat. So there's that too. Let's get this thing. I mean, I kind of tasted a little bit. It tasted good. Let's give it a proper go, though. Very sweet. Okay. Some of it actually managed to get as far back as... Oh, I'm going to have to wipe that all off. Crap. Yeah, it's sweet. If you watch my show, you know that I'm not much of like a direct coffee person. I'm more of a coffee adjacent person. So I like things that taste kind of like coffee, but not that much like coffee. This fully falls into that category. Now the question becomes, in that instance, is it then basically just a dessert drink? Like, is it just liquid candy? I'm going to say no. I don't think it's quite liquid candy. I think that it's more to the effect of like, if you went over there and got yourself a proper coffee and you had like a Twix creamer that you could add to it. That's more what it's like. It's not like it's sweet, but it's not abrasively sweet or anything. But if you're like a proper coffee person, this isn't going to do much for you, I don't think. The real question is, does it taste like Twix? And the answer is a little bit. A little bit. I mean, obviously, it was never going to be a one-for-one. We're still probably hundreds of years away from that technology. Probably less than hundreds, realistically. I could see, maybe by the time I'm a proper old man, just being like, oh, I'm going to drink this Twix, and it just tastes like proper Twix. In this case, in between fighting the aliens and the cyborgs and such, is future. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a Twix aspect to it. Obviously, you're not getting that patented cookie crunch. It'd be a hell of a thing if you were. But there's a little bit. What does it kind of taste like overall, though? I'll say this, you can taste the caramel. And, yeah, you know what? That's probably the best way to put it. Is it kind of tastes like, basically just sort of like a caramel mocha kind of deal. That's more what it is. The caramel is definitely at the forefront of it, which is probably what's giving the sweetness. And the mocha aspect of it, like there's a little something to go along with it, which, makes sense. Twix is, uses milk chocolate and whatnot. It's not going to be super biting. The coffee aspect is very minimal. It really is mostly just the flavoring. I don't know. There's zero bitterness. There's really, even for me being somebody who, again, sort of coffee adjacent, even for me, it's almost a little bit too lacking in the coffee. Because at least when you have that, that coffee aspect, it creates a little bit of a contrast. I like contrasting flavors. So in this case, like it's just kind of sweet on sweet on sweet. But again, I wouldn't go as far as say it's abrasively sweet. But I don't know how many of these I would drink in a row, is what I'm going to say to that. Two questions have to be asked, though. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Maybe sometimes and kind of sure. Like, this is what I'm a little bit on the fence about. It's not bad. Like, I like it well enough for what it is. But, again, it's definitely on the sweeter side. And even for me, it's like, I could do with, like I said, man, I wish it had, and I get it. I fully understand why they did it the way they did. Especially, it's trying to be a Twix, So I understand. But I think even for me, I would like a little bit more balance, just a little something to kind of counteract it. But I get why they didn't do it. But I think for me, it's like, I could see grabbing one every now and again, but definitely not as a regular thing. It's just, the Twix aspect is kind of there, but obviously it's, just sort of what they're capable of doing with it. And I don't know. I don't really have much of a reason for it. Even though, again, I don't think it's bad or anything. It's just, yeah. And then, if I'm recommending it to people, I don't know exactly who this would be for. Like, because it's not for coffee drinkers. And the thing is, it's like, again, it's like, in theory, I should be the audience for this, because it's like, I like frappuccinos and all that bullshit and stuff. And this basically falls into that category. Even if you're like a massive Twix lover, I mean, it's like, unless you just want the can, it tastes a little like a Twix, but not that much. But at the same time, you know what? I mean, try it out. If you run into it, I think that's kind of where there's falls. It's a little bit of a novelty item. It doesn't taste bad. If you run into it, sure, give it a go. It's not a bad item. It's just, I don't know. For me personally, it's just not something I feel the need to return to anytime soon. But 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go in there and have yourselves a truly proper Twix-tastic rest of your life. Twix is just wonderful, right? I mean, that's like, it's up there with like the best candy bars in the world. I personally feel. At least, definitely top 10, maybe top 5. Anyway, final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. Try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there with you in it. Life is frustrating and bullshit, and sometimes you just don't even, you're just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? When we run into those situations, folks, it's absolutely crucial. Excuse me. What the hell was that taste? Oh, that was the sriracha ramen I had way earlier. It was hours ago. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you are one of the leading individuals on the drink to candy perfection ratio that is working in some sort of secret underground bunker so that no one can compromise your worth or work, so that in the year 2087, okay, year 2087, okay, I will be 101, that hopefully my 101-year-old ass can go over there and drink a drink that tastes exactly like I'm drinking a Twix, and there's a single tear will fall from my eye, because at that point Twixes will have gone properly extinct. Again, robots and cyborgs and aliens and shit, future. And in between going over there and tearing out the throat of one of those filthy upstart cyborgs, and going over there and with my other hand using my laser fist to go over there and punch some alien's brain through the back of his head, as you do, Warhammer 40k and such, I'll be able to remember what it was like back when the Twixes still roamed the plains free. Or conversely, you can completely purge everything I just said out of your head because it was stupid as shit. Bye!